It's a warm welcome to you viewers as we meet once again on another episode of Crime Watch, a program aimed at fighting crime through continued interaction with members of the public. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandaratsi. It's good to have you along. As the Zimbabwe Republic Police would like to remind you that the COVID-19 pandemic is still with us. Members of the public are therefore being reminded to adhere to the stipulated regulations and measures meant to curtail the spread of this deadly virus. Let us travel only when it's necessary, properly wear masks covering both the mouth and the nose, and sanitize regularly. Remember the social distancing rule and avoid shaking of hands. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Republic Police is concerned with people who continue to flout COVID-19 regulations. Recently, police in Bulawayo impounded vehicles for COVID-19 related offences.
Behind me are part of the motor vehicles that have been impounded by Zimbabwe Republic Police in Bulawayo, where a total of 80 vehicles have been impounded that are plying our roads against the law. In view of this COVID-19 pandemic, there are set regulations by the government that are stipulating that only those combis that are registered with ZUPCO are supposed to operate as they conform with COVID-19 regulations and requirement. I therefore urge our members of the public to make sure that the vehicles that they bought, they have stickers from ZUPCO.
In a related matter, police in Chitungwiza have also impounded vehicles for violating COVID-19 regulations.
As you can see here, we are having a lot of vehicles. Most of them are combis, which we have impounded. The reason being that these vehicles are operating against the COVID-19 regulations. They have been banned from operating on our roads. They have been banned from carrying passengers. But we are having them on our roads carrying the passengers against the regulations. So our objective, our operation is to impound every vehicle, every combi which is operating against the COVID-19 regulations. Then the process is we will simply impound the vehicle, take them here, and whoever has been found to be the second offender will be referred to court. Our policy as an organization, we say we do not have anybody who is special, who is above the law. We are taking the law without fear and favor. Anyone who is found wanting will be arrested, regardless of his rank in the society or in the organization. He is treated the same.
In March 2020, the government designated ZUPCO and other private operators franchised by ZUPCO as the sole passenger public transport providers in order to contain and prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, we have noted with concern that there are some private operators who have defied the government ban and started operating illegally. I would like to warn the combi owners who continue to defy the government ban that they risk being arrested and taken to court should they continue operating illegally. May I also encourage the members of the public to use ZUPCO as they risk losing their lives or getting injured when they are using these road commuter omnibus taxis.
ZRP Southerton nabbed two people who were using a Honda Fit registration number ADD4039 to rob commuters after picking them on the pretext of being pirate taxis. The duo would use a child lock to entrap their victims before doing the criminal acts. Property valued at $1,070 was stolen, and upon their arrests, police recovered property valued at $210. Investigations are still being carried out at ZRP Southerton. Meanwhile, ZRP Mabvuku recovered a Mazda Demio ADQ6083 parked alongside the road opposite Nyaradzo Cemetery in Chishawasha, Harare. Police officers on patrol saw the car parked without any occupant, with car keys on the ignition and windows opened. They got suspicious, and upon searching the car, they saw a small paper with a phone number written on it. They called the number only to be answered by the complainant, whom they invited to the police station. The vehicle was driven to ZRP Roadsview for further management. Value recovered is 4,000 United States dollars, and investigations are still underway regards this case. The Zimbabwe Republic Police CID Commercial Crimes Division Unit arrested Fidelis Chuma in connection with money laundering. Let us hear more from CID CCD Unit.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police is embarked on an operation which is aimed at eradicating criminal and economic saboteur on the mobile money system in the country. Pursuant to the objectives of the operation, we gathered intelligence to the effect that one Fidelis Chuma of Glenview here in Harare was embarking on these illegal dealings. Detectives approached the accused person at his workplace, whereupon they arrested him. The value of the monies that were involved in the accused person shenanigans amount to a total of 611,966,498 Zimbabwean dollars. We have also invoked the Money Laundering and Process of Crime Act in our endeavor to recover the process of crime, and the accused person is being charged for violating Section 8, subsection 1A of the Money Laundering and Process of Crime Act, Chapter 9.2 money laundering, whereupon he acquired a business stand where he is building a shopping complex in Udirotu at a place commonly referred to as Blue Roof. We would want to warn criminal, be they individuals or syndicates, who are bent on bringing instability on the transacting arena, that we are not going to sit on our laurels whilst they engage in their criminal activities.
Join us in the second segment. We are now in the rainy season, and there's need to be wary of the dangers posed by slippery surfaces, flooded rivers and water bodies, as well as the threat of lightning, among other hazards. Police discourages motorists from crossing flooded bridges. Parents and guardians should monitor their children when they are playing to avoid imminent danger of drowning. We also discourage traveling whilst it's raining, as lightning can strike any time. Do not hide under trees or tow objects when it's raining. Drivers are also urged to ensure that their lights, brakes, wipers and indicators are in good working condition. Speeding when it's raining is discouraged. No to dropping and picking of passengers or parking near robots. Animal-drawn vehicles should be fitted with reflectors. We now move on to Mashonaland West Province, where Sarue police busted a cattle rustling syndicate. The apprehension of this gang has opened a can of worms, as more and more cases they committed are now surfacing.
During the period from March 2020 to November 2020, ZRP Sarue received a total of 35 cases of stock theft. During the time the police were investigating the cases, the police picked up Alison Mapumo and interviewed him. He opened up that he would steal cattle from the pastures, mix with his head of cattle and paint the cattle. He would send photos of the same stolen cattle to Ronald Senior of Cat Butchery in Chekutu. After having obtained the photos of the cattle, Ronald Senior would approach a police officer based at Chekutu. The police officer, using fictitious names, would issue out ZRP clearance certificates certifying that the cattle would not have been stolen and everything was genuine. After having obtained the stock theft clearance forms, Ronald Senior would proceed to Friendship Farm, where he would slaughter the cattle and take them to Nduna Abattoir in Chekutu, already slaughtered. The management at the abattoir would in turn issue slaughter certificates certifying that the cattle would have been slaughtered at the abattoir, yet they would have already been brought slaughtered. The police has so far managed to account for 17 cattle which had already been slaughtered and taken to cat butchery in Chegutu. 5 accused persons have so far been arrested, including the police officer who was clearing the stock.
Ng'ombe dzangu 11 chete dzakashaikwa muna September. Dzashaikwa muna September. Zvakaitika ndezvekuti tichitsvaka ng'ombe, mapolisa vakazondipa runhare kuma 10 dzeusiku. Vandipa runhare vakati kune mbavha dzeng'ombe dzasungwa. Mukudaro ndakaenda kumapolisa kuma 10 dzemanheru idzodzo. Ndikasvika ndikaona mbavha dzacho. Wanei imwe yembavha yacho muneiba wangu ndiye wakanga achitora ng'ombe dzangu achiisa mudanga make kumanheru, vodziisa muresi yedanga rake, vodziuraya, vogura musoro, dzouya dzotakurwa dzichienda kwadzaienda.
Ndinopa kutenda kuvapurisa eZRP kubvira gore rakapera kusvikira pari zvino. Mapurisa aripo aya tiri kusenza nawo zvakanaka. Vanotitora vachitiisa munharaunda vachitiunganidza, vachiti tibate pamwe chete, tichizoona umwe chete hwavo isusu navo, nokuti vanenge vachiti isusu kana tikaona zvataona tofanirwa kuindisa kwavari. Isu kana taendesa kwavari ivo vanoratidzira kuti zviya zvamatitaridza zviya zvakamira zvakadai so.
Pedestrians are also key in the prevention of road traffic accidents. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe sheds more light on this.
Rules of the road regulations in Zimbabwe prescribe that pedestrians must walk on the right-hand side of the road, facing oncoming traffic. They also state that where a designated crossing point has been prescribed, such as a pedestrian crossing behind me or a traffic light, pedestrians must use those crossing points and avoid jaywalking. Drivers must stop their vehicles behind a transverse line so that pedestrians may cross using the zebra crossing. Pedestrians must stop at the pedestrian crossing and check traffic coming from either side of the road or from the only one direction if it is a one-way street. When they are satisfied that all the vehicles have stopped, they should then cross and walk briskly across the road without concentrating on other things such as using the cell phone or talking to each other. Those issues should be handled when they have crossed the road. It is therefore important that motorists must avoid parking their vehicles near such pedestrian crossing, as the area must be free of traffic so that pedestrians will check before they cross the road. It is an offense for motorists to fail to give way to pedestrians at a pedestrian crossing. We would like to urge members of the public to ensure that they use the marked place which is in a zebra pattern and no other place when they are crossing the road. Behind me is a raised pedestrian crossing. The idea behind raising a pedestrian crossing is to ensure that motorists do not cross at high speeds. Pedestrians are encouraged to use a raised pedestrian crossing, and it is a requirement that every motorist must give precedence to pedestrians at such a crossing point. Motorists are pre-warned by a warning sign that they are approaching a pedestrian crossing, and they must reduce their speed and exercise extreme caution. At a Pelican robot, the pedestrian is expected to press a button and then move and wait behind the zebra crossings. The sequence of the light will change from green to amber, then to red. It is only when the pedestrian is facing a green man that they are now allowed to cross the road, whilst the vehicles have been stopped by a Pelican robot. At a traffic light, pedestrians must make sure that they are facing a green light. They must also walk along the pedestrian crossing lines that have been prescribed. Motorists are reminded that they must give precedence to pedestrians when they are turning left or right at a robot-controlled intersection. Failing to give precedence to pedestrians is an offense. We noticed that some of the motorists were not giving precedence to pedestrians to the extent that some of them were flashing their headlights to frighten pedestrians from crossing whilst they have the right to cross facing a green light. On a straight stretch of road where there is no pedestrian crossing or robot-controlled intersection in sight, pedestrians may have no option but to cross the road. Make sure you choose a straight stretch of road where you can see traffic coming from your left and from your right. You must cross at a right angle. Before you cross the road, you must ensure that you check traffic coming from your right, since traffic coming from the right is nearest to you. Then you check traffic coming from the left, then you check traffic coming from the right again and start crossing the road, ensuring that there is no traffic coming from both sides that can hit you.
To those who are just joining us, we are in the third and final segment of Crime Watch. It is important to feel safe at any given time of the day. Let us hear more on how to improve our safety at all times.
Today I'm going to talk about the coming holiday season, where we want to discuss the security during this period of time. As you are aware, we are approaching this season and we are left with many decisions to make regarding our travel arrangements. Now at this particular time, we need to ensure that we are safe in terms of whom we are living at our houses, and are we leaving the properties secure. If you have an alarm system, you need to test the alarm system to ensure all the gadgets within it are functional, and if they are not functional, you then have to call experts to come and attend to the alarm. Secondly, you also need to check all the weak points within your perimeter, for instance, to ensure that there are no gaps where people can use to enter your premises. But most importantly, when you want to travel, it is important that you hire a guard service so that at least you know that there's somebody within your premises. Also ensure that you have some lights that are left on so that at least if somebody is out there, they may believe that there is somebody on the property. Let's also avoid, when we are now away and on holiday, let's avoid to use social media to alert people as to where we are, because some people may take advantage of that and pounce on your property. Also avoid keeping large sums of money at your premises, because this attracts some armed robbers. Also ensure that the information regarding you having some money is not shared with many people. Advisably, you should use recommended service providers like security companies that do overnight storage for all your cash. It's so important that you also discuss with the close family members or friends or neighbors so that they are also aware that you are away during the period. So it is important, as you may be aware, criminal activities are on the rise, especially during this festive season. So it is important that we ensure that our properties are safe and sound as we enjoy our holiday.
In a robbery case that occurred in Puisi Woodlands, Masasa, Harare, 6 armed men pounced at a certain company in the early hours of the 2nd of December 2020 and got away with $6,000, a vehicle and laptops, all valued at 10,600 United States dollars. The robbers took advantage of the opening of the main gates into the company premises to gain entrance. They ransacked the company premises after handcuffing the security guard, took cash and other valuables before driving away with the complainant's vehicle. Anyone with information that may help in locating these criminals should contact any nearest police station. Police in Bulawayo conducted a workshop aimed at advancing youth advocacy in fighting crime. Other stakeholders such as the Dialogue on Shelter, Business Against Crime Forum of Zimbabwe, Crime Consultative Committee, and Churches Against Crime, among others, attended the workshop, which was held at Holiday Inn in the City of Kings and Queens.
In partnership with the organizations called SEFT and inclusive cities, engineered and pioneered by the Plan International, where we've been engaging the target group of youths who are the most populous in the area of Phumula, trying to divert their attention from criminal activities into engagement on projects that keep them away from crime and delinquency. We have seen a great improvement in the partnership between the police and the youth. We have been discharging lectures to them in relation to drug and substance abuse, which has seen a good reduction in the community. And we appreciate the partnership that we have had with these organizations that has seen ZRP Phumula being visible. They've supported us, and this will actually be the benchmark or a foundation for us to plan for the year 2021 in fighting crime.
We are currently working with young people under a project called Safe and Inclusive Cities, which is there to address issues of safety within communities and within the public transport, so that we can create a diverse community or a civil society which is strong in addressing its own safety challenges and also issues of decent work. And Dialogue on Shelter is focusing on achieving outcome number one, which is there to reduce issues of conflict and violence amongst young people in the community. They are taking part, mainly participating in addressing the conflict and violence within the communities. They have carried out various initiatives together with the Zimbabwe Republic Police in fighting community crime, conflict and violence, together with the Zimbabwe Republic Police.
We now move on to people on the police wanted list. Highlands Police is looking for Enoch Mungiria of house number 19, Boundary Road, Newlands, Harare, for a fraud case. In another case, Erinos Chako of Mvayo Village, Chief Munyara Dzigutu, is wanted by ZRP Renko in connection with a theft case. Lastly, in another case of theft, Featherstone Police are looking for Tawonga Mujgise, aged 28, of Chakaneta Village, Chief Makumbe Buhera. Should you have any information that may help in the location of any of these people, feel free to contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our website address is www.zrp.gov.zw. You can also like us on Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. feedback@zrp.gov.zw is our email address. Take time to interact with us on Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe. We are also contactable 24/7 on our ZRP National Complaints Desk 0242 703 631. In case you miss any of our episodes, go straight on ZRP YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. You'll find any episode of your choice. It has been a pleasure having you along. As Zimbabwe and indeed the whole world advocate against violence under the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, the Zimbabwe Republic Police also says no to any form of violence. We also urge members of the public to participate in this noble cause by reporting all gender-based violence cases at the earliest opportunity. Together we can end any form of violence. From me, Tendekai Dandaratsi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.